This week on Arizona Illustrated, Shakespeare's coming to Tucson, or at least the first folio is. We'll celebrate with soliloquies, bookbinding, crumb horns, and your favorite Shakespeare. We'll then meet one of Tucson's funniest people, Pauly Casillas. And it's Hamlet, the pig, from the vault. Welcome to Arizona Illustrated. I'm Tom McNamara. The Arizona State Museum on the campus of the University of Arizona will soon be host to the original 1623 Shakespeare First Folio. Considered one of the most influential books in the world, the First Folio includes 36 Shakespeare plays, 18 of which had never been printed before. Without the First Folio, all of those plays, including Macbeth, Julius Caesar, The Twelfth Night, The Tempest, As You Like It, and more, might have been lost forever. This year, the Folger Shakespeare Library is sending a First Folio to every state in the country, and the University of Arizona was chosen through a competitive selection process to be the host site for Arizona. We celebrate this exhibit with a little Shakespearean tour of our own.
So these are copies of the first few pages of the First Folio. And the table of contents. The Tempest, The Two Gentlemen of Verona, The Merry Wives of Windsor, Measure for Measure, Comedy of Errors, Titus Andronicus. We're just outside Picture Rocks. This is a converted RV storage garage that I've converted into a nice airy bindery. Panther Peak Bindery. Well, they called and said, the First Folio is coming to Tucson and we're wondering if we couldn't do something that would help people to better understand the book as an object rather than just the content. And I said, what if you made a book that was similar in size to it, but was a cutaway? Because I'm going to finish this book and only put leather on half of it so people could see what the indbands look like and they can see what the sewing looked like. Well, I hope people have a sense of how it was put together and not only get a sense of the size and the heft of it, but also to get an idea of what the inner workings and how the thing was constructed.
Ill blows the wind that profits nobody. This man whom hand to hand I slew in fight may be possessed with some store of crowns, and I that haply take them from him now may yet ere night yield both my life and them to some man else as this dead man doth me.
The sounds you're hearing in the background are the folks in the shop who are busy constructing both The Tempest and the Comedy of Errors, which we will be performing as part of the First Folio. They are busy. They work from early in the morning until late at night.
How fares the king and his followers?
Confined together, in the same fashion as you gave in charge. They cannot budge till your release.
Shakespeare is at the center of the theatrical tradition. He is the tallest tree in the forest. He really and truly is. And everything moves towards him or away from him.
The dread rattling thunder have I given fire, and rifted Jove's stout oak with his own boot.
It's a chance to go and see the document from which they came. And then to be able to see that piece of history and come to the theater and see it come to life is a really remarkable opportunity.
Mine would, sir. Were I human.
If those 18 plays hadn't been contained in the First Folio, we would have lost Mark Antony, Friends, Romans, Countrymen, lend me your ears. We would have lost Duke Orsino saying, if music be the food of love, play on. Then the touch happens here, and it's nice and clean. I think the hardest part in terms of making the Shakespeare work is that the actor has to understand that they need to put everything into the language.
I drink the air before me and return or out your pulse twice beats.
And Shakespeare has given you the words to express what you're feeling. So you don't have to wait. You don't have to do that take. You don't have to do that look. You need to use the language that you have in your mouth to express exactly what you're trying to do with your body. The language is the thing.
Beshrew your eyes. They have o'erlooked me and divided me. One half of me is yours, the other half yours. Mine own, I would say, but if mine, then yours, and so all yours. Oh, these naughty times puts bars between the owners and their rights, and so though yours, not yours.
We've created this Tucson crumhorn consort to play the music of Shakespeare. This is called crumhorn. Crumb is the German word for curved, so that's where the name comes from. Okay, dun, 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 dun. 1, 2, 3. That's the fun of these things, that we're playing music from the time period of Shakespeare and during the Renaissance on instruments that would have been played then. I think they're just so unique sounding. They're fingered very similarly to a recorder. So we're all recorder players, and I'm playing the bass. On the tenor is Ulrich Michael, and Gary Kern is playing an alto cornemuse, and Barbara Martin over here is playing a soprano crumhorn.
It's over.
It's over. Okay, good. Sounds pretty good.
Is the east, Juliet is the sun. Arise, fair sun, and kill the envious moon, who is already sick and pale with grief. That thou, her maid, art far more fair than she. Be not her maid, since she is envious. Her vestal livery is but sick and pale, and none but fools do wear it. Cast it off. She speaks, yet she says nothing. What of that?
Today we started working in the stage combat class on the battle sequence that we will use for the opening gala for the residency of the first Folio.
Oh, wait.
So if it says in Shakespeare, they fight, I choreograph it and make sure the actors stay safe. And I start them off with the first phrase of the fight, and then they will go through and start to piece together the next phase, and I come through and I clean it. So they're generating some of it, and I'm guiding them as they generate it.
That's it right there. There you go. Look and see what that does. It opens up.
The thing about a fight is that it has to be, first of all, safe, but then it has to tell a specific story. A fight is simply where communication is broken down, and we are now communicating with our fists, with a sword, with a war axe, whatever it is we have in our hands and available. So that's how we're talking to each other. So it has to tell that story.
It starts with the head cut. Remember to duck. You know, I mean, you can coach each other. It sounds like battle cries. It's all good. Okay? Excellent. Good. Thank y'all.
There is something else. This bond doth give thee here no jot of blood. The words expressly are a pound of flesh. Take then thy bond, take thou thy pound of flesh, but in the cutting it, if thou dost shed one drop of Christian blood, thy lands and goods are by the laws of Venice confiscate unto the state of Venice.
Shakespeare understood life, and he understood people, and he presents them warts and all. And it's really lovely to get back to those original texts and to be able to bring that to life. Things that are cornerstones of how we understand life, how we articulate things, how we phrase them and consider them. So it's really a vitally important piece of our history and our culture.
and deeper than did ever plummet sound, I'll drown my book.
And when you hear people do it well, the fact of the timing with the words makes it clearer than if you're in high school and reading it and going, what the hell is this? Which is really, I think, kind of an unfair way to present Shakespeare to people, because they go, I don't understand this at all. But then you hear it read, and when people know where to put the pauses and the emphasis, it sort of clarifies it.
To the kingship, invisible as thou art, there shalt thou find the master and the boatswain. Being awakened, force them to this place, and presently, I prithee.
I can feel.
Okay, so can we try it this way? So.
There's no reason to fear Shakespeare. It will sound foreign to your ears for about the first 5 minutes, and then you will get into the flow of things. There is visual imagery that will help you understand the story. One of the things that we stress in terms of the training of our actors and in our productions is clarity, so that you will be able to understand what's going on. And more than that, just not that you'll be able to endure it, you will find yourself hooked. You will find yourself experiencing something that you didn't know that you would like, and you will very probably go and see another one.
Are some of the most famous quotes from the Bard's plays still relevant today? AZPM visited the El Mercado Plaza west of downtown Tucson to give the people there a chance to try their hand at reciting some Shakespeare they love.
I'm Malin Peterson, a retired librarian from Montana, now a snowbird for a couple of weeks.
Hi, I'm Amy. I'm from Chicago.
So my name is Dr. Stephanie Troutman, and I'm a professor in the English department at University of Arizona.
My name is Len Corte. I'm a psychoanalyst.
My name is Kendall, and I love NPR.
Hi, I'm Vanessa, and I was born and raised in Tucson.
My name is Jerry. I had a Shakespeare teacher in high school, Mr. Hindelman, who had so much enthusiasm for the topic. It was unbelievable, and that was the most infectious and most interesting thing about it, and it really pulled you in.
Hi, my name is Elizabeth, and I'm a former Tucsonan, and I love to read.
Hi, I'm Alma. If music be the food of love, play on. And that's from the 12th Night. And I picked that one because I love to make beautiful, gorgeous, awesome organic food.
And my quote is, out, damn spot.
The lunatic, the lover, and the poet are of imagination all compact.
Out, out, brief candle. Life is but a poor player who struts and frets his hour upon the stage and is heard no more. 'Tis a tale told by an idiot, full of sound and fury, signifying nothing.
If music be the food of love, play on, from 12th Night, Shakespeare. This resonated with me because I just feel like music's something very important to me, and I could see it coming from Jim Morrison, one of my great inspirations.
The man that hath no music in him, nor is not moved with concord of sweet sounds, is fit for treasons, stratagems, and spoils. The Merchant of Venice.
The fault, dear Brutus, is not in the stars, but in ourselves.
Men have died from time to time, and the worms have eaten them, but not for love, as you like it. I chose this quote because I like its dark humor.
The lunatic, the lover, and the poet are of imagination, all compact. I think this means that they all suffer from the same malady, irrationality.
You can see Shakespeare's first folio at the Arizona State Museum on the University of Arizona campus, February 15th through March 15th. The exhibit is free and open to the public 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Saturday. Find out more about the exhibit and the many events celebrating this unique occasion at firstfolio.arizona.edu. In its simplest form, comedy could be described as making someone laugh. But the art of doing so takes timing, a creative control of language, taking risks, and knowing one's audience. Our next story follows a Tucsonan that innately possesses all of these skills and much more.
It's a 1988 Ford Crown Victoria Country Squire LTD. It's very much an extension of me. I mean, like everything else on the outside is just like whatever, but the shoes are nice, the rims are nice, and it's a nice engine. Like it's a big body, but it goes fast, and that's how I feel I am. I'll drive up to Phoenix just for 7 minutes for free and then come back, because it's an investment. It's a long run investment.
I'm Pauly Casillas, Tucson comedian extraordinaire.
I never knew what I wanted to be growing up, and I never really had a plan for life. I caught an assault charge. At that time, I was probably trying to get into selling coke and stuff like that. A lot of people pulled some strings for me to be out in public. So what can I do to do something with my life? I could have been doing 10 to 12.
Stand Up Live, downtown Phoenix. Gonna open up for Calcanane. Calcanane is the voice of Comedy Central, but also he's a very, very funny comedian. Spiteful, mean. I don't get nervous until like 2 minutes, 3 minutes before the show. If it goes wrong, it's the worst thing in the world. When you're standing in front of hundreds of people and none of them are on your side, there's a potential that could happen every night.
Thank you guys for coming out. A little bit about me, I'm a fun guy. I like to do fun things. Like, a fun thing to do is to text random numbers with, hey, I'm outside. Like, I get Chinese food twice a week. I love Chinese food. But they're like, I ordered there one time and it was good, so I ordered there again because they open early. And then he thought he knew me. Like, he heard my info that I was giving him, and he's like, oh, hey, what's up, Pauly? Beef lo mein, hot wings, and crab puffs? I was like, no, you can't just figure me out from one food order. Like, I'm an onion. There's layers to this. I'm a complex guy. Like, I've been to jail, but I've also been to the MoMA. Like, I've been stabbed before, but I love wine tastings. I play golf, but I've also sold drugs. I'm a complex guy. You can't just figure me out from one food order. So I was like, no, I will not get the crab puffs, sir. And then this is what I hear verbatim. On the other line, he goes, oh, cutting back. I was like, what? How does he know I'm fat?
Well, we do one show Thursday, a little karaoke after, live, and then we went to Lost Leaf.
I love this guy, Pauly Casillas, everyone.
I love Phoenix until you guys find out I'm from Tucson. See, and that's the response I get every time. What is your beef with Tucson? And don't say ASU, U of A, because none of you go to college. None of you go to college. I'm gonna stand up live all weekend, opening for Calcanane. Come through. Thank you.
Pauly Casillas, everybody. They're funny shit, man.
We're in Mark's Body Shop in the heart of Sahuarita, Arizona. I like this job. Every accident's different. If it happens again, come back and then we'll just fix it and we'll the bracket on it. I definitely do more than just a full-time job here. Probably a good 2 weeks, half of the month I'm working comedy. What amazes me about that is I love sleep. I love to sleep. Did you see that tweet I put out earlier about Steven Tyler? For some reason, he popped in my head when I was driving to work. I saved 4 pictures of him, and then I put it in a tweet, and I asked people to Photoshop the microphone out and to add churros to it, and they didn't disappoint. There's one right there. That's a good one. That's another good one right there. This is one of my favorite though, because he's leaning back. He's like, and that's a huge churro right there. That's like, a 3-foot churro. No one would book me if I didn't have the following. No one ever just says, oh yeah, go ahead, get on my show. No, it's you have the following, you get the verification check mark, and it's just like, oh yeah, come on my show. Stands to inherent tortilla making equipment Mexican. Which is very specific, but I am coming into some tortilla making equipment. Holler at me. Starting a diet Monday, so I'm gonna eat all the junk food in my house now and then not start the diet Monday. Used my Mexican powers for good and helped a dude breaking into his running car. That happened right here at Safeway. Caught my 4-year-old snapping selfies, whispering to herself, so beautiful. And it's like, dang, I wish I was that confident. Like, I don't want to be like, I'm out here saving lives with my Twitter account. But really, it's just I'm bored and on the toilets and sometimes driving. Twitter got me as far as this, but now I have to use that to springboard off of this. So. Since I was little, it's been hair and shoes with me because I was always fat. And, you know, just being the fat kid at school, I gotta compensate for it, I guess. You still got it.
You've been the same
Since
size
89?
Like
I've gained like 300 pounds since 89.
That's a compliment.
No.
You're the same size, dude.
Yeah, the same shape, but not density. I'm much more dense. I'm much more dense.
You've been the same size.
I put on a bunch of muscle since then.
But yeah, he's been the same pretty much. Always been a funny guy. So what are you gonna do tonight? Your show down here on 4th or what?
Yeah, heads.
I always try to say I'm gonna make it, but
Yeah, I don't believe you anymore.
it's hard. I have a big deal.
I appreciate you still saying it though. Yeah, I've known Paul for at least over 20 years. Solid dude.
We went to high school together, elementary school. I opened up my own business. He always supported me. But he's a little picky, so I don't think if he didn't like his haircut, he probably wouldn't be coming to me anyway. So at least I feel like I'm doing something right.
Beautiful. Can you take this down a little bit right here, that pimple? See it? Show me a cute face.
That's my cute face.
We met playing co-ed softball almost 7 years ago, and then he Facebook stalked me. We started texting and then hanging out, and it was weird because I didn't think I would date him. He was always nice, and once we started talking, I could see that he was really nice.
Me and her had the same type of personality, same type of, we laughed at the same dark stuff. So it's fun to hang out with someone that you don't have to explain yourself to. There once was a girl named Lucy, and all she did was cry. Every time she didn't get her way, she would cry all day. And tears would run down her cheeks. And she would say stuff like, I don't want to go to bed. Her toys got wet. Yeah, her toys got wet. And her house turned into mush.
And this ship picked him up, and this guy named Kevin Costner, it took him to land.
The only land in the world.
And everybody
that
was like,
Lucy didn't cry on.
Yeah, and everybody said, Lucy, please don't cry.
Is that really true?
It's a true story.
Did you like it?
It got kind of dark in the end, but you know.
I know, nobody liked Waterworld either.
Yeah, no, like Waterworld. What you see now is like the opposite side of the spectrum of how I had it, which probably helps me be a better parent now. All right, bottle time.
It was random that he asked me or told me that he wanted to do stand-up. And I was like 8 months pregnant with our first baby when he wanted to go do it.
Got everything? You got Lullaby Puppy?
He had to stay like grounded and support us as a family. And as long as he did that, I would support him still.
With that kind of backing, it's fun to come out here and really put everything behind it because I know in the long run, I feel like it'll pay off. We're at Mr. Head's, about to start the comedy night that we do every Wednesday at 10 o'clock.
Put your hands together, Pauly Casillas, everybody.
I'm happy to be here. I almost didn't make it here tonight. I was stuck in a Chipotle restroom for 2 hours waiting for an employee to come wash my hands like the sign says.
I went to go buy a Prius. They told my wife, like, your credit score's good, but yours is, you don't have one. I was like, is that good? They're like, are you 18? I was like, I'm 33. And this is what he said verbatim. The Toyota dealer tells me, what the fuck have you been doing? Living off the grid, baby. Right there. Thank you guys. I'm Pauly Casillas. That's my time.
For our final story, we return to Shakespeare with Hamlet, a Vietnamese pot-bellied pig from the vault.
Hamlet the pig is the official ambassador at the pet cemetery of Tucson. He arrived in February of 2000, a little piglet from the Humane Society.
He greets people, he helps straighten the vases. He basically just entertains people.
We come to visit our aunt's pets here. We love animals, and we love putting flowers down, and it's pleasant and quiet, and we just like coming and spending time with Hamlet.
Come on, Hamlet.
Now I understand you came the first day that Hamlet was here.
Yep, we did. We came around the corner, and there's a little pot-bellied pig sitting there. It just makes it a lot more fun being here.
Cemetery owner Darla Norish says Hamlet also has an important job.
Most people who are here have lost a dog or a cat. Their cat or dog has died. It's not lost. They know exactly where it is. The pet has died. And yet they can interact with another animal that doesn't remind them directly of their particular death, which is a cat or a dog. He attends the funeral services.
Did I mention Hamlet eats? He is a Vietnamese pot-bellied pig, but he's on a veterinarian-approved diet.
We're hoping that he, because of following his diet so carefully and lots of exercise that he gets, because he does run the 4 acres here, that he will probably stay under 50 pounds.
And he'll be here as long as his natural life lasts.
No, he'll never be a pork chop. He'll always stay at the cemetery. And his life expectancy is 25 to 30 years. So.
And then he has a home here after.
Oh yeah, you know, he's already got his gravesite picked out. Come on.
No Shakespearean tragedy here. Hamlet
Hamlet.
the pig will entertain and comfort at the Pet Cemetery of Tucson, hopefully, for many years.
Thank you for joining us here on Arizona Illustrated. Next week, it's Rodeo Week. We'll visit with cowboy poet Baxter Black. Look into the challenges of seeking help in rural Arizona. Go riding with a barrel racer and look back at a tragedy in Sierra Vista from the vault. I'm Tom McNamara. See you next week.